Okay, good day to everyone. Welcome again to UP Math. So our topic for today is about angle of elevation and angle of depression. Now, let us try to define them by using an illustration. No? So an angle of elevation is actually the angle between a horizontal line from the observer and the line of sight to an object that is above the horizontal line. Whereas the angle of depression is the angle formed between a horizontal line from the observer and the line of sight to an object that is below the horizontal line. In other words, the angle of elevation is formed when the observer looks upward, and the angle of depression is formed when the observer looks downward. Again, take note that the angle of elevation depression is always with the horizontal line. Now, the challenge in this type of problem is how to illustrate what is going on in the problem, no? So I hope this video would somehow help you to overcome those challenges, no? So at this time, let me give you the following examples. Okay, so just like I said a while ago, no, the challenge here is how to make an illustration, no? So kung minsan yung vertical distance napagkakamalang horizontal distance and vice versa, no? So let's try to avoid those by analyzing the problem carefully. So let's have an example. Sample 1, Brian's kite is flying above a field at the end of 65 meters of string. If the angle of elevation to the kite measures 70 degrees, how high is the kite above Brian's head? So dito, hindi mo kailangang magaling mag-drawing, no? What is important is you know how to illustrate the problem correctly, no? So this would be fine for Brian. So nagpapalipad siya ng saranggola. Okay. So supposing this is the kite. Now, the kite is flying above a field at the end of 65 meters of string, no? So string nga, di ba? Means tali, no? So this is 65 meters. And the angle of elevation to the kite measures 70 degrees. So we need to draw a horizontal line from the observer, di ba? So the angle of elevation is here. Remember, no? The angle of elevation is always with the horizontal, no? Now, notice that we have formed a right triangle. Okay. By the way, this is 70 degrees. And the question is, how high is the kite above Brian's head? So, ito yung ka-level ng head ni Brian. So, we are actually looking for this distance, no? Now, how do you solve for x? What function is involved here? So, with respect to 70 degrees, x is the opposite side, and this side is the hypotenuse. So, that is the opposite over the hypotenuse, which is the sine function, di ba? So, sine 70 degrees is equal to x over 65. Now, to solve for x, we simply cross multiply. So, x is equal to 65 times sine of 70 degrees. Now, by using your calculator, this is equal to 61.08 meters. And that's it, no? Okay, let's proceed with number 2. From the top of a vertical cliff, 40 meters high, the angle of depression of an object that is level with the base of the cliff is 34 degrees. How far is the object from the base of the cliff? Okay, so again, let's start with the illustration. Supposing this is the cliff, 40 meters high. Now, we have an object that is level with the base of the cliff. Okay, supposing that object is a ball. Naka-level siya sa base ng cliff. And the angle of depression of that object from the top of the cliff is 34 degrees. So what we do now is to draw a horizontal line here to construct the angle of depression. So this is the line of sight of the observer. Now, take note, no? Common mistake ng bata, dito naglalagay ng angle of depression, no? Sa vertical line. That is wrong, no? Remember that the angle of depression and elevation is always with the horizontal line. So, nandito ang 34 degrees. Okay? Now, the question is, how far is the object from the base of the cliff? So, obviously, this side is missing, no? Again, take note that we have formed a right triangle here, but the problem is yung ating angle nasa labas ng ating right triangle. So what do we do now? Remember the concept of parallel lines cut by transversal. So these two are parallel lines. Ito yung ating transversal. Remember that alternate interior angles are congruent. So if this is 34 degrees, this is also 34 degrees. Diba? Now, there is another option, no? You can also find this angle, no? Pwede natin gamitin to. Now, how do you find this? Diba, this is also right. This is also right angle. So, to get this angle, we only need to subtract 34 from 90, and that is 56 degrees, no? So, you can use this angle or 34 degrees. But of course, it would be much easier to use 34 kasi hindi na kayo kailangan mag-subtract pa from 90, no? And of course, you will get the same answer kahit ano pang gamitin nyo dyan. Okay? So, how do we solve for x? What function is involved here, no? So this is 34 degrees. This is the opposite side. And this is the adjacent side, no? With respect to our angle. So the function involved is opposite over adjacent or tangent, no? So tangent 34 degrees is equal to opposite, which is 40, over the adjacent, which is x. Again, we cross multiply. X tan 34 is equal to 40. So how do we solve for x? Just divide both sides by tan 34, diba? So 40 over tan 34 degrees. So what is x, no? Maka-cancel na yan. So x now is equal to 59.3 meters, no? Okay, and that's it, no? Problem number 3, a 40-foot ladder which is leaning against a wall reaches a point that is 36 feet above the ground. Find the measure of the angle created between the ladder and the ground. So we have a ladder here. Okay. Yan, no? Ito yung ating hagdan. And this ladder is leaning against a wall, no? And it reaches the point that is 36 feet above the ground. So, nasaan yung 36? Ito yun, no? 36 feet above the ground. Now, the question is, find the measure of the angle created between the ladder and the ground. Ito yung ladder natin, andito yung ground. So, ito yung angle na tinatanong niya, di ba? This one, okay? O, medyo extend natin ng konti para umabot sa ground. Okay. So, where is the right triangle, no? Ito, this is the right triangle that we formed. Now, the ladder is 40 feet. Okay? And we're asked to find this angle. So, supposing this is theta, no? Now, again, what function is involved here? We have the opposite side and the hypotenuse. So that is the sine function, right? So sine theta is equal to opposite, which is 36 over the hypotenuse, which is 40. So 36 over 40, or we can simplify this. We can divide this both by 4. So this is 9 over 10, no? Now, how do we solve for theta this time, no? So to solve for theta, we need to find the sine inverse, no? So theta is equal to the sine inverse of 9/10. Now, again, using your calculator, theta is equal to 64.2 degrees. 64.2 degrees. And that's it. Okay, so just like before, we always end up with solving the most complicated problem, no? So let's try to solve problem number 4. From a plane flying due east at 265 meters above sea level, the angles of depression of two ships sailing due east measures 35 degrees and 25 degrees. How far apart are the ships? So let's start by illustrating an airplane. So pagpasensyahan na yan kung yan ay mukhang ibon o starship, di ba? So we have two ships sailing due east. So this is the first ship and this is the second ship. So again, pagpasensya na ulit kung ito ay mukhang bangka lang, no? Now, the plane is flying at 265 meters above sea level. So syempre tubig to. Okay? And the plane is 265 meters. Okay. Oh, yung iba dito nilalagay yung 265, ano? Tama ba naman yun, di ba? Above sea level nga, di ba? Okay, so to draw the angle of depression, again, we draw a horizontal line. Now, the first line of sight is from the plane to the first ship, and the second line of sight is from the plane to the second ship. Now, where is 35 and where is 25 degrees? Of course, 25 degrees, ito yung mas maliit. That is the angle of depression of the second ship, yung mas malayo from the plane, no? So this is 25 degrees. And 35 degrees is the angle of depression of the first ship from the plane, no? Yung mas malapit. So 35 degrees is from this point up to this point, di ba? Ayan. Now, the question is, how far apart are the ships, no? Itong layo nitong dalawang ship na to. So how do we solve for that distance? Now, to solve for that, we need to find the distance of the first ship from the plane and the second ship from the plane. So let us denote the distance of the first ship by x, okay? And the distance of the second ship by y. Ayan, no? Now, what would be the distance of the two ships? Diba? The distance of the two ships would be the difference of y and x. Diba? So this distance is equal to y minus x. So to solve for the distance, we need to solve for x and y. No? So let us first solve for x. So what function is involved here? Now, take note, yung angle natin nasa labas pa, no? So we need to find this angle, just like we did a while ago. So what angle is alternate to this angle, no? Is it 25 or 35? So syempre yung 35 kasi siya yung nag-touch doon sa ating transversal, no? So if this is 35, this is also 35 degrees. Okay? So how do we solve for x? What function is involved? We have opposite over the adjacent. So we have tan 35 is equal to 265, the opposite side, over the adjacent side, which is x, no? Oh, take note na, we are using the smaller triangle first, no? Dito muna tayo sa smaller triangle to solve for x. So, again, by cross multiplying, we have x tan 35 is equal to 265. And then we divide both sides by tan 35. So by using your calculator, x is equal to 378.46 meters. Okay? Now, let us solve for y this time, no? So this time, ang gagamitin natin yung mas malaking triangle, no? Yung sa second shape, no? So, ano yung angle natin this time? So, the angle this time is this one, no? So, sino ang ka-alternate niyan? Ang ka-alternate niyan, syempre si 25, this one, no? So, nandito yung transversal natin. So, this is actually 25 degrees, okay? So, again, the function is involved here is opposite and adjacent. So, we have tan 25 degrees is equal to 265 over y this time, no? Kasi doon tayo sa mas malaking triangle na, no? So again, by cross multiplying, we have y tan 65 is equal to 265. And then we divide both sides by tan 65. Tan 65. So again, by using your calculator, y is equal to 568.29 meters. Now, sa final step, di ba sabi natin, the distance of the two ships would be the difference between y and x, no? So, let us subtract y from x. So, we have 568.29 minus 378.46. So y minus x, which is the distance between the two ships, is equal to 189.83 meters. And that's it, no? That is the distance between the two ships. Okay? Okay, I hope nakatulong ang video na to to those students who are struggling with the illustration for this type of problem. Makakaasa kayo na we'll have more of this in the coming days. So for the meantime, don't forget to share, like, and subscribe. Thank you for watching.